All right, welcome in and welcome back to the Standard. It's me, Joey, here with Jack once again, and we're going to talk about everything going on in the world of our Steelers. As always, we're even going to bring you our quarterback rankings for the 2025 NFL Draft, which, from what I know from Jack's rankings so far, I don't know much, but what I do know, it's there's going to be some disagreements. It's going to be pretty fun, so I hope you all enjoy listening. But thank you for joining us. First of all, we'll start off with TJ Watt's cryptic Instagram post. We'll get some TJ Watt cryptic post discussion. And for those of you that don't know, TJ Watt posted a picture of himself on his Instagram story, and he's someone who doesn't really post on Instagram all that much, I'd say. Just picture him throwing up a peace sign, could be a harmless little photo. I don't know, but it could also be, hey, I'm in the last year of my deal. Myles Garrett just got basically quarterback money to play the position that I do. I don't know. Thoughts on this, I guess we'll call it stunt by TJ Watt, Jack? Thoughts on this post?
TJ Watt thinks he's getting Myles Garrett money. You're going to see me throwing up the peace sign. Goodbye. Anyway, TJ's a great player, but we're not in a situation where we can afford to pay an edge rusher that doesn't do shit whenever it actually matters, like $30 million a year. It's just not going to happen. So if he thinks he's getting that money, we're probably going to end up either trading him or he's going to walk. So is what it is.
Okay. So, I think that's well said.
That's about all I got on it.
Let's just say this. Let's say it is him trying to say, hey, I want a new contract. Fair. I understand you're in your last year of your deal. Let's also look at it this way. TJ Watt is 30 years old, all right? He is also coming off his worst full season, I guess. For what that's worth, it was still a really good season. 11 and a half sacks. Steelers won 10 games, got bounced in the first round of the wild card, like we've all come to know and love from our Steelers. But I guess the thing is here, does anybody really think that from a team building perspective, even where the Steelers are at right now, that giving TJ Watt $40 million, maybe even a little bit more of what Myles Garrett got or wanted or deserved, whatever you want to look at it like, does anybody really think that TJ Watt is worth that at this point? Because let's be very clear. What we've learned from the Steelers this offseason is that they don't really have much of a plan, clearly. But what they do want to do is try to win. I think they've made that much clear because they went out and spent $150 million in a second-round pick on DK Metcalf, and I was a big fan of that deal. But then it's April 13th when we're recording this. It's less than 2 weeks before the draft. Your starting quarterback is Mason Rudolph. Guys, what are we doing? Do we feel that confident about Aaron Rodgers? I don't really know anymore. I don't know what to think on that front. Maybe Mike Tomlin and company feels a lot more comfortable with that than I certainly do, and everyone else listening. But let's just say this. Even if the Steelers get Aaron Rodgers and they extend TJ Watt and give him $40 million a year, what does that do for the Steelers? Can anybody tell me? What does that do, Jack? Let's say they get Aaron Rodgers, they give TJ Watt $40 million a year. What's going to happen next year?
We're probably going to sneak into the wild card and get our asses kicked in the first round.
Correct.
If I had to guess.
So, guys, I think the frustration it's just compiling, and it sucks that it's happening to TJ Watt because let me say this: all-time great player, one of the best Steelers ever. He'll go down forever as the Steelers' all-time sack leader, of course. That unbelievable 22 and a half sack season he had 3 seasons ago. But at this point in the career, I think it's absolutely fair to sit here and say, I don't know that I'd pay TJ Watt $40 million a year. I don't know that he's worth that at this point. I don't know that it makes sense for this team. Now, let's be very clear. This is just what me and Jack are saying. And I know there are some people out there that probably agree with us and probably some people that heavily disagree with us. And I think the people that heavily disagree with us will probably be happy at the end of the day because I do think the Steelers probably give TJ Watt whatever he wants and they give him that unbelievable contract. And, they will continue to not win any playoff games or anything. It'll be a whole ugly ordeal. It won't be good. But I think it's absolutely fair at this point to question whether or not he's worth it. And for him to go out on Instagram and post something like that, I don't know, dude. I don't know. I don't get that, especially after the way he ended last season. Not great. We all remember what happened at the end of last season, right? We all remember the over 100 snaps and zero recorded statistics whatsoever. I mean statistics, guys. I don't mean sacks. I mean no tackles. I mean nothing. 100 snaps of nothing last year when like crunch time, playoffs against the Ravens. Nothing.
Nothing. That really is
Nothing.
unbelievable. I mean,
That
it's not like he went 100 snaps without getting to the quarterback. He went 100 snaps without even tripping a running back or getting in on a run play or anything. It's
guys,
actually unbelievable. I don't understand it.
I'm not denying that he's one of the best defensive players in the entire league. I'm not denying that he's one of the best players to ever play for the Steelers. What I'm saying is the behavior of going on your Instagram story and clearly posting something that's like, "Oh, give me a contract." Maybe I'm blowing this out of proportion and it's not, but I don't think there's a single person that thinks that he just chose that picture of him holding up a peace sign just for fun and just posted that on Instagram. That means something. For him to go out and say that, especially after the way last season ended, I don't get it. And I think it's funny because the Steelers are probably going to give him whatever he wants, and it's just mismanagement all around. It's honestly quite hilarious at this point because I'm pro Aaron Rodgers, I guess, at this point for the Steelers. Um, do I really think that it solves any of the glaring issues? Absolutely not. TJ Watt getting $40 million. Will I like throw a fit and like be all upset? Like, no. Like he's like at the same time, I think he probably deserves to have like that last big contract, but I'm not going to sit here and be happy about it because it doesn't solve anything. It probably makes things worse off for the Steelers than they already are. And they're already pretty bad off, let's be honest. Who has it worse than us, truly? Let's take a moment. Who has it worse than us? Less than 2 weeks before the draft. We don't have a quarterback.
I'd say like the Jets,
I don't know.
Saints.
Yeah. The
Saints have it
Saints,
really
yeah.
bad.
But, the Saints are a good segue into our next subject. Shador Sanders, top 30 visit to the Steelers. He posted it on his Instagram story. Said legendary. Had an awkward as hell interview with Kay Adams on Twitter. Did you watch that, Jack? Like a
I did
two and a
not
half.
see it.
It was like a
I
2.5 minute video. And Kay Adams was like asking him like, "Oh, like how would you grade your visit with the Steelers?" And A, B, C. He goes, "It was a 10." Like it was just awkward, dude. It was just weird, and like he wasn't really giving her much, and she was like digging, and I appreciate her trying, but it was not working. But let me be very clear here, guys. If we get Shador Sanders, I'd be very happy because let me tell you what. Do I think that he's for sure the next big thing? No, but it's a sign of the Steelers at least trying. That's trying, in my opinion, is going out there and getting a guy that if he falls to you at 21, I think that's a range in which you should run to the podium
yeah
to take him.
yeah.
Especially, let's say Aaron Rodgers isn't on the team uh, come draft day, which I can't even fathom that, right? Surely he has to announce where he's going or if he's retiring before the NFL draft, right? Right? I don't know. I don't know because then that changes everything in my opinion. If the Steelers don't have Aaron Rodgers and he announces he's retiring or he announces he's going elsewhere, I don't even know where else he could possibly go. Then you have to draft probably two quarterbacks, guys. You probably have to draft two quarterbacks, one early and one later in the draft. But it definitely changes a lot of things. I think Shador would be a slam dunk first round pick given your needs. I think that's who I'm hoping for at this point. Me and Jack were talking about what are we even going to draft? It doesn't seem like the Steelers really have that one glaring need. They have a bunch of needs. D tackle is a pretty popular one. Corner, uh, linebacker, you could argue. Even, not first round, but like you get a third receiver in the draft. I don't know. Running back, obviously, you're starting running backs Jalen Warren, which is not great. Not
No,
great, guys. Certainly not ideal. He's a fine too. Not ideal though, guys. But I don't know. Shador Sanders, yes or no? Steelers, Jack. You a fan?
I would not be opposed. I wouldn't be opposed. We'll get into the quarterback rankings later. I don't want to spoil what I have, but I agree. It would be a sign of the team actually going out and trying to make a move that fixes things. I mean, you've been stuck in quarterback purgatory the last 4 or 5 years. Just seems like that's been the glaring need on the team every single season, basically. And like you said, I don't think he's a sure thing. I think out of the guy, I think he's a relatively safe. I don't think he'll be terrible. I think there's questions with his ceiling and whatnot, but again, I would be really happy if we actually went out and made a move that tried to fix the biggest problem that's been living on the team for 5 years. So I am in favor of Shedeur to the Steelers if he falls to 21.
I would agree. So I had a tweet, and I thought it was very real. I want to retweet my own tweet. Steelers by Joey over on Twitter if you're not following. What I think a lot of Steelers fans don't understand about quarterback purgatory. You should probably be drafting one every single year until you get your guy. I'm so serious. You should probably do what the Patriots did every single year until you get your guy. Draft one early, draft one late. If the one late looks good, trade him for picks. Just recycle until you get one. Guys, we're sitting here. It is April 13th, and I cannot stress it enough. Mason Rudolph is the starting quarterback. Regardless of how much you like Mason Rudolph for what he did the last month of the 2023 season, we have to be serious, guys. This is not sustainable. There is a reason that nobody else was willing to sign Mason Rudolph, and Mason Rudolph chose to come back home for, what are we paying him, $4 million? That is pennies for a backup quarterback. Really good deal, not denying that. Guys, we cannot think that that is good going into the year. We cannot think that that is sustainable. I won't
Really,
stand for
you
it.
don't think the end of 2023 Mason Rudolph is the actual Mason Rudolph we're gonna get?
Guys,
I
it
can't.
is.
I can't even say that without laughing.
It is. It's entirely possible that Mason Rudolph has a couple week stretch where he looks really good. But guys, can we actually? I'm gonna look up the stats to that because I feel like
I think he had an overrated stretch at the end of that year. I don't think he was actually that good.
like let's be very, very clear. He was good. All right. We won the football games. He got us into the playoffs. Nobody's denying that. But let's look 2023. All right. All right. So the game against Cincinnati, 17 of 27, 290 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's a really good football game. I'm not denying that one. That's a really good football game. All right. Against the Seahawks, 18 to 24, 274, no touchdowns, no picks, but we won 30 to 23. Good game. 270. 270. Maybe we're hating a little bit. I don't know. I remember the ground game being really, really good in that one, though. The game against Baltimore, this was a monsoon, if I do remember correctly.
Yeah,
17 to 10 victory. 18 of 20, 152 and a touchdown. He was efficient. Maybe we're hating, Jack.
It wasn't Deontay. Didn't Deontay have that long slant route that he took to the house? That
Yeah,
was
like,
70. It was 70 yards or something.
Yeah.
So
So
that accounted for half of his yards in that game.
and then the playoff game against Buffalo, 22 of 39, 229, 2 touchdowns and a pick, but the Steelers were trailing huge, and a large
Pick was
part of that,
extremely costly in the first half too.
the pick was really, really bad.
Because it was on the 2-yard line.
I don't know. That's maybe even a little better than I remember it. But, I mean, we're just looking at the stat sheet here saying, 290, 274, 229. That's really not that bad. And I think that's where a lot of fans get confused. Guys, I just don't think that's sustainable at all. I'd be shocked if he's able to replicate that over the course of a season. And he really, I mean, all things considered, in Tennessee, didn't look great. Not that anybody in Tennessee looked good whatsoever, but I don't know. I don't think that's good. Quarterbacks, it's a good segue into our 2025 quarterback rankings. I will let Jack kick it off. He's going to give us his number one quarterback, and then I'm going to give you my number one quarterback. Then we're going to move down the list. We're going to do top 5 here, I think, for now. I'd like to have a pod next week where we go to all the positions and maybe we can even go a little bit deeper into our quarterback rankings if we want to. But for now, we're just going to give you our top 5 quarterbacks in the 2025 NFL draft. Jack, go ahead.
My quarterback one, I think this one's kind of a layup, is Cam Ward. He had an outstanding season after transferring twice from Incarnate Word to Washington State to Miami. Interesting track there, but he was outstanding this year for Miami. He was a really good team. He's got the best arm talent out of all the quarterbacks. Well, maybe he's got the best arm talent out of the projected first rounders. Him and Shadur. Good velocity on throws. Good at processing things pre-snap. I think he's probably top 2 or 3 in the class at almost every trait you can have at playing quarterback. So he's, I think, the easy quarterback one. I don't really have much else on it. I didn't do much extra thinking here. I didn't want to overthink it. Do think he is. He's really good. He's probably not worthy of the first overall pick. I'll say that. But if I were a team that desperately needed a quarterback and I had the first pick, I would probably also take him. Just because I do think he is good, and I don't think he'll be a complete bust. So
Yeah, I think that's a good point that you made, is to not overthink it, right? And I think that's the thing with Cam Ward here. He's easily my quarterback 1, 2, and it is overall a weaker quarterback class. I'll say that. And I agree with you in the sentiment that I don't think Cam Ward would be worthy of the number 1 pick if, if I was the GM in that situation. Completely understand why the Tennessee Titans are leaning towards going that direction, it seems like. I think Travis Hunter is far and away the best prospect in this entire class, and I think he's too interesting of a prospect to pass up not picking number 1. I think any team that passes on him is making a mistake. Said that on my Twitter earlier in the week, too. Go follow for more great takes like that. But I do think Cam Ward is the best quarterback in this class, all given it's a weak quarterback class. My concern with him is Miami's offensive line was really, really good last year. They were one of the better pass protecting units in the entire league, in the entire nation. And I think we'll see a little bit of like what Caleb Williams saw last year, maybe not to the extent of getting sacked 70 times or however many times Caleb Williams got sacked, but a lot of, the TikTok trend was like, oh, Cam Ward's so nonchalant. He just like literally stands flat footed in the pocket and then makes the throw. He's not going to be able to do that in the NFL. He's not going to have that kind of time. It's going to be almost something where he likes to make plays out of structure like Caleb Williams, but he's going to have to be more in tune, more on timing, on rhythm, like Caleb Williams had to be more in his rookie year. I think you're going to see a little bit of a learning curve there, especially with the Titans offensive line that isn't really particularly good. They've got some nice young pieces like JC Latham, but it really wasn't a good unit overall last year. But I think I'm digging a little bit too much into the landing spot for Cam Ward. He is unbelievable out of structure. He's really, really good down the field. And I think those are all traits that make him intriguing at the number 1 pick. And I see why the Tennessee Titans are leaning that way for picking him. I don't think he's by any means generational. He's going to come in year 1 and light the league on fire guy. I could be wrong right there. But I think there are some things that you have to like about Cam Ward. And for that reason, he's number 1. He's not this guy that has this really capped ceiling either. We've seen him grow and grow and grow every single year in college. And it was really interesting to me. Cam Ward, when he declared for the draft last year and entered the transfer portal at the same time, he was projected to be a really late round guy. And it's crazy the difference a year can make, because he's just a couple of weeks away from being the number 1 pick in the NFL draft, it seems like. And he's everybody's consensus quarterback 1 because of that continued growth that he's shown throughout his collegiate career.
yeah, I wanted to go off of the nonchalant thing. I've seen a lot of people say that one of his strengths is his elite poise and patience, which I don't know. I've been going back and forth on. I don't know if that's really a good thing, having elite patience at a college. I mean, playing ACC football, you're not playing the best pass rushes. You're going to have a ton of time, and that might be the biggest adjustment that he's going to have to make. He can't just stand. He can't use that elite poise and pocket presence year 1 playing for the Titans with, I guess, Dan Moore as his blindside blocker.
80 million dollar
$80
man,
million
Dan Moore.
man. But no, I do like Ward. I also wanted to throw out there that I didn't think his weapons last year were particularly like anything crazy. I think Restrepo is a good college receiver. I don't think he's going to be anything in the NFL. Arroyo's pretty good, but other than that, like they didn't really have much of. I think it was more his ability to extend plays is what makes you kind of weapon proof, if that makes sense, on offense. Like, you don't need to have stud receivers that get open every play in like a second and a half if you're able to extend plays like he was, which is what I'm excited to see if that will translate to the NFL. So I'm excited to watch Ward.
Yeah. So Cam Ward, our consensus quarterback 1. QB2. We'll move down the list. Jack, you have the floor.
I want to preface this with I've gone back and forth on this like 7 times. Um and I just mentioned that you don't want to overthink your quarterback rankings, which might be what I'm doing here. Um I also preface this with that I had Jaden Daniels as my quarterback 4 last year. Doesn't look great. So take what I say with a grain of salt. But I think this is different because last year's quarterback class was pretty damn good, and this year's quarterback class really isn't.
Really not good.
Um, my my quarterback 2 is Jalen Milroe, and okay, here's the thing. It's not because I think Jalen Milroe is some outstanding prospect. I just think I'm lower on Shadur than I think a lot of people are. Which I did say I would be fine with Shadur at 21 to the Steelers, which I still would be because it shows that we try. And I don't think Shadur is going to be bad. I said questionable ceiling. And that's kind of my reasoning for this. I'll say Jalen Milroe is probably not going to be as good as Shadur Sanders. Pretty good chance he's not. But that, I guess, 5% chance that he turns and develops into something great is really appealing. If you're a team that's been stuck in quarterback purgatory and hasn't had a good quarterback since the end, I guess, before the end of Ben's career, I guess the beginning of 2020 was the last time we had a good quarterback. But Jalen Milroe, he is like he has the athleticism and the arm talent to be something amazing. I mean, there's a reason guys like Jalen Hurts was a 2nd-round pick. Lamar Jackson was drafted 32nd overall. If I'm like those, there's a lot of really good quarterbacks that don't get drafted in the top 10, and I think this could be a case here. He reminds me a lot of Hurts. He reminds me his legs remind me of Lamar Jackson. He's not quite the runner he is. Kind of different style runner. He's bigger, probably less elusive, but he's still really fast. But his pure athleticism and arm talent makes you just wonder if you could turn him into a more polished quarterback and thrower of the football. Like you could definitely have something here. So that's why I would be really in favor of the Steelers using maybe trading up into the 2nd round, or somehow if he falls to the 3rd, I would be all over Jalen Milroe.
Jack, I respect your opinion. You know that?
Oh, I know you. I know you're going to disagree. I know a lot of people will, but
I respect your opinion. I really, really do. Um, with that being said, Jalen Milroe's not my QB2. If you haven't guessed that by now, it's undeniable that the Steelers have a lot of interest in him. Mike Tomlin is sort of in love with him, had dinner with him, all that good stuff. Would I be surprised if the Steelers took Jalen Milroe? Probably not. I guess I don't necessarily think he lasts until the 3rd round, so seems like a trade up. Let me tell you what. If Jalen Milroe is the selection at 21 for the Steelers, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Guys, I understand where you're coming from, and I think I fell for this trap with Anthony Richardson in the 2022 draft, where the Anthony Richardson, it looked really good. It's like, man, if this guy he gets the right coach, the right landing spot, he could really develop into something. The Colts were kind of a dream landing spot. There's no dream landing spot for Jalen Milroe here. I don't really know that I trust the Steelers to develop him, but I'm kind of getting off topic here. Shador Sanders is my quarterback too, pretty easily. I understand the ceiling concerns. Maybe you don't know what he is. I think that's what makes Shador Sanders in a class where there's a lot of question marks, pretty much at every position. I think that's what makes Shador Sanders appealing to me, is because for the large part of it, you know what you're getting. And I think there's a lot of room to grow there in the right offensive system that has a couple of weapons, has an established offensive coordinator like Arthur Smith. I'm talking about the Steelers landing spot, of course, because, guess what, guys? This is the Steelers podcast. If Shador Sanders goes to the Steelers, I can absolutely see an avenue to that working. I think Shador Sanders gives a lot of teams a pretty safe ceiling, and it's a pretty safe selection. I don't necessarily think that any of these quarterbacks are worth taking really high in the draft, especially with the top 10 pick, but I think there are a lot of intriguing guys like Shador Sanders. You know what you're getting. He's incredibly accurate. He knows how to move the ball downfield. He's a really good intermediate thrower. He's taken all of these programs. You want to say Jackson State, Colorado, not traditions of winning. He won a lot of games. And I know wins are not a quarterback stat. I'm a big advocate of that. But I think it's worth something that Shedeur Sanders has gone to a couple of different places and he's won at a couple of different places. Just like Cam Ward, you can say the same about him. But I think the safety of what Shedeur Sanders, what draws you away from him, is kind of what draws me into him. Because I don't really see any other of these quarterbacks as nearly as safe as an option as Shedeur Sanders. I think he's pretty safe. I don't think there's a shot that Shedeur Sanders, I mean, depending on landing spot, just straight up sucks. I mean, it's just awful, unplayable. I think he, at the absolute worst, pans out and he's like, he bounces around the league as a backup. I really think he's a solid player overall. And that's what kind of draws me into him as my quarterback, too.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair. I don't necessarily dislike Shadur. Like I said, I'd be happy if the Steelers picked him. I'd be acting like I was super high on him the whole time. But jokes aside, yeah, I don't think there's a scenario where he's like straight up bad. Which I guess, here's the thing: if you're the Steelers, maybe I'd prefer Shadur to Milrow. But if I'm like a shittier team, if I'm just a different NFL team in general, I'd prefer Milrow. Just because I think if you want to say the ceiling of Shadur is maybe like 10th best quarterback in the league at some point, like I think that, like if you're the Steelers, you can win with that. Just because the way we play, we always have a really highly paid defense. And I mean, if we had the 10th best quarterback in the league, we'd be probably perennial contenders. So, but then again, like if you're another team and you're trying to win a Super Bowl, you probably don't shoot for Shadur Sanders because I don't think he can really be like top 5, like one of those like elite quarterbacks. But yeah, I would be a fan of Shadur for sure.
Yeah. So top 2 is done. Interested to see where you have Shedeur. Is he your number 3 quarterback?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
We'll get into the other guys later, but yeah. Going off of everything you said, basically, I think he's relatively safe as far as mid first round quarterbacks go. He was pretty damn good at Colorado. I guess problems holding on to the ball. His biggest problem is probably holding on to the ball too long, which is, I'd say, out of the issues you can have coming out of college, that's probably a good one to have. I feel like that can be fixed relatively easily. Maybe not easily, but easier than other traits that you'd not want to be missing. But yeah, I think he's pretty safe. And I think he would instantly be like probably the best quarterback we've had in a couple of years if we did draft him. So, and just the fact that we'd actually be trying if we went out and made a move for, maybe not even made a move. If he fell to 21, I'd be happy. Be happy with Shadur. I think if he hits that ceiling of like fringe top 10 quarterback, I could be wrong, by the way. His ceiling could be the best quarterback in football, but
We don't know.
I don't think it is. I could very easily be wrong, but I'd be shooting from the 12 to 9 range in the league if I drafted Shadur, and that's what I'd want. And if that happened, I would be ecstatic, obviously. So, yeah, big fan. Well, I don't know, big fan, but I'm a fan of Shadur. I'll say I'm a fan of Shadur.
All right. So my quarterback 3, guys, this gets really muddy from here on out. This 3, 4, 5 range for me. Let me be very clear. I think there are 2 quarterbacks worth taking in the first round, maybe in this draft. Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders. I don't think any of these guys should be selected in the first round that I'm about to name for my last 3. And that's not me saying that, not nothing personal against these guys, I guess. This is obviously a much weaker quarterback class than what we saw last year, where we saw 6 quarterbacks go in the first 12 picks. I think it was, Caleb, Jaden, Drake, Penix, Nix, McCarthy. Yeah, so 6 quarterbacks in the first 12 picks last year. I think we might see 2 go day 1. I'd be really shocked if we saw any of these guys go day 1. But my QB3 is Jalen Milrow, I guess. I shouldn't have gotten, so maybe I should. That's why I guess I wasn't so crazy on Jack for having him QB2. I think having over Shedeur is a little adventurous, but I think the 5% chance that you fix everything about him pretty much as a quarterback that is bad, which, let's be honest, there's a lot of bad. He's a really good deep ball thrower. He makes some really, really bad mistakes, guys. He's a good runner of the football. And I think the deep ball and, running the ball compares a lot to Anthony Richardson as a prospect. And I think the NFL draft community has definitely cooled on guys like Anthony Richardson after seeing what he's done the first 2 years in the league. No hate to Anthony Richardson, Jack. I know that's your guy.
I still believe.
But hey, best of luck to him. But I think that's why Jalen Milroe sort of intrigues me. I think he's a guy that will go pretty early day two. I don't think he's worth taking night one. It could even be a situation where he's accepted an invitation to the green room night one of the NFL draft. Guys, the NFL doesn't send those invites to just anybody. This could be a situation like a Lamar Jackson where a really controversial quarterback prospect, maybe a team trades up to go in and get Jalen Milroe at the end of the first round to snag him from the Cleveland Browns, who have the first selection on night two, which, that seems like a pretty obvious Jalen Milroe landing spot. I should say pretty potential landing spot for Jalen Milroe. That pick to Cleveland at 33 makes a lot of sense. But I don't know. I'm not super high on him. I can see the intrigue with some people. I see the vision. I guess I see the end goal. I just have a really hard time imagining how much work that's going to take. I wouldn't play him year one, obviously. It's a wait and see thing with him. And I guess that 5% chance that he's reaches his potential, that's why he's my QB3 in this draft.
Yeah, that's absolutely fair. I mean, there is a lot to fix, obviously. And again, maybe the reason why I'd prefer Shedeur over Milroe, even though I think Milroe's probably the better draft pick, just for the Steelers, I guess is because I don't trust the Steelers in developing a guy that has a lot of issues. I don't trust us to do what the Ravens did with Lamar Jackson. I don't trust us to do what the Eagles did with Jalen Hurts. Um, it's just I don't know, just the way we're operated. I just don't think it would work out for us. I can see it working out for somebody else, just not us. I again, like if the Browns took him, I would not be worried about him being really good.
Yeah, I would be worried.
No, but yeah, I like Milroe, but I think landing spot definitely matters.
Side note, I'm terrified the Browns are going to take Travis Hunter at number 2. I really don't want that because I really, really want to root for Travis Hunter, and I think he's going to be awesome wherever he goes. I just,
it's a nightmare for my dynasty value there.
Yeah, that is a nightmare right there.
Pick it to Travis Hunter.
That's your dream. That's your dream.
Yeah, it is actually. Yeah, it is.
If you would have told Steelers fans 2.5 years ago that Kenny Pickett would be throwing to Travis Hunter, they'd have thrown a parade already.
I would have been on the ground shaking. All right, well, I guess that takes us into QB4, which I assume we probably have the same guy, but
I don't think let me say this. No, we don't. No, we don't.
Really?
No,
really?
We don't. No, we don't.
Wow. Okay, well, that kind of makes me pissed that I wasn't more of a hater. Anyway, my quarterback 4 is Jackson Dart. Here's the thing. I think there's 3 quarterbacks here that have a chance to be good in this draft class. And it's the 3 I've listed, 3 Joey's listed. Jackson Dart he's kind of, in a way, his strengths are kind of similar to Milroe's strengths. They're just not as big of strengths. He's got a good arm. Milroe has a better arm. He's mobile. He's not as mobile as Jalen Milroe. Yeah. And he also makes really bad mistakes. Like really, really bad mistakes. And I don't think he's very accurate. I don't think he's very accurate in any level of the field. I don't think he's as good of a deep ball thrower as Milroe is. His anticipation's pretty bad. He throws some pretty bad picks. I just think he's like a low floor ceiling kind of guy. Like I think Milroe's a low floor, like really high ceiling kind of guy. He's like really low floor, really high ceiling. Dart's like really low floor, kind of just like a mess ceiling. Like I don't think he kind of has the potential to develop into anything special, and I don't think that's worth a pick when it's very possible you could just be completely terrible. So that's my opinion on Jackson Dart.
Yeah, yeah, that's completely fair. Listen, I'll get into my thoughts on Jackson Dart in a little bit, but he's not my QB4 in this draft. There's a quarterback, a
Oh God,
later
I know who
round
it is.
quarterback. He's going to be someone that goes on day 3, I assume, but I'm really high on this guy. My QB4 in this draft is Kyle McCord out of Syracuse. Guys, hear me out. Kyle McCord transferred out of Ohio State, where he was told, "We have Marvin Harrison Jr., we have a great defense, don't fuck it up, here you go." He transfers out, he goes to Syracuse, lights the ACC on fire against not against Pitt, of course. I before you even say that, I don't need to hear it. I
It's
understand.
okay because we have the best linebacker core in the country. Or
They
did
do. Pitt does have the
propaganda.
best linebacking core in the country. They do. I agree with you on that. But Kyle McCord, all-time single-season ACC passing yards leader, goes to Syracuse,
Was it
absolutely
really?
lights it up in a system where he was told, "You're the guy. Go out, do your thing." I saw it with Kyle McCord. I see it. I understand the vision. Guys, do I think Kyle McCord is going to go out there and be a franchise changing quarterback? No, no, I'd be stupid to say that. This is not a good quarterback class, guys. I have Kyle McCord at QB4, and people are going to be upset about this. This is a guy that is going to go day 3 in all likelihood, and he is my QB4. It's not a good quarterback class. But what I do like about Kyle McCord, he's safe. I feel like he's a lot safer than a guy, even like Jalen Milroe. Who would you rather start year 1? Would you go out there and watch Jalen Milroe throw 30 picks? Or would you start Kyle McCord? I don't know. I think it's a lot closer than you guys think. Now, I'm not an idiot. I didn't put Kyle McCord over Jalen Milroe, but I think Kyle McCord, again, he's another one of those guys that is young enough. He's displayed enough at places like Syracuse, won a lot of games at Ohio State, too, regardless of what you want to say about him. His season at Ohio State, people make out to be like he was really, really, really bad. It was a good season at Ohio State. I really didn't understand all the hate. I mean, they went out and got Will Howard and won the national championship. I understand that what was the main difference? Well, they had a different quarterback. Kyle McCord, guys, he can ball. He's a hooper. When you watch Kyle McCord, any of his highlights, any of his film, he knows, guy. I don't know how. I'm sounding stupid here. I'm sounding like I'm just saying that boy nice, and I'm really trying to not come off like I'm saying that boy nice. But he's just a baller, guys. I love him. I love Kyle McCord. I love what he's about. He's going to be my QB4 in this class.
Hey man, I don't like Jackson Dart, so I mean I'm not going to argue you putting McCord over him. Um,
I
I
really
listen.
struggle even having Jackson Dart in the top 5. I'm like debating even right now as we're about to. I'm like, I don't know
This is gonna look really bad one day.
if
No,
Jackson Dart
I'm pretty
hits.
confident it won't. I'm pretty confident it won't.
If
I
if
don't think Jackson Dart's any good.
if the Steelers take Jackson Dart first round, this whole segment is getting posted.
Is it just me? Is it just me, or did like Dart like last year, not like this year, but like the year before, he was kind of like thought of as like maybe a mid round, late round guy. And like
Yeah,
this year, he just like wasn't really like.
he wasn't
Did he,
really.
did he
He
really
wasn't
show
really
anything?
good.
Did he
He
really
wasn't
show
really
anything that was like?
good, guys.
Yeah,
Like I don't
I don't
know.
think he really showed anything that was like, yeah, this guy is gonna make a big leap.
I
I
just
don't know.
the whole thing with Kyle McCord is like you can't really take a lot about his size or his athleticism because he's kind of undersized. He's not really super great athletically, but he's got a really good arm. He's got great accuracy, and I think in a weak quarterback class, you kind of have to look at the dumb things like, oh, he's got aura, he's got intangibles. Kyle McCord was basically thrown out of Columbus, Ohio, goes to Syracuse, who hasn't had any type of football success in a decade plus at the bare minimum, and he wins 10 games and wins a bowl game, most single season passing yards in ACC history, lit up the ACC for what it's worth. I'm a known big ACC hater, but I don't know. I like that better than Jackson Dart, who I was he a top 5 quarterback in the SEC last year? I don't know. Was he?
Maybe I don't know.
I
It's off the top of my head. I'm trying to think of it. I don't. Maybe, probably.
Uh,
I gotta
I don't know. Like,
like being a top 5 quarterback in the SEC is not like a huge achievement that makes you like a high pick. Yeah, I don't know. I guess that gets into my quarterback 5. I'm not gonna lie, like it's kind of just throwing darts at a board at this point. Like I don't know if any of them are really gonna be anything good. One thing I'll say, if you're one of those guys that wants 26-year-old rookie Tyler Shock or whatever you say his name, and thinks he's like any sort of no, he's not. No, that's any side note. That's just no. But I guess my quarterback 5, I guess, is also Kyle McCord. I guess when you're looking this late, like you said, I mean, when your quarterback 4/5 is going to be a day 3 pick, class sucks, which is true, it does. Kyle McCord, I guess he's got, yeah. I mean, he really only played one bad game last year, and granted that game was really bad, but it's you can kind of look past it. I mean, like it happens. He does. I just think he's better than these other like late round. Like all these other guys just really didn't show me much. I mean, Tyler Shock played in the same conference, wasn't as good as McCord, and he's way older. I say way older, which is funny because but he like is. He's going to be a 26-year-old rookie. I hate him. It's not even. I don't even know what he did to me. I don't know. I just get so mad when these like stupid mock drafts that are obviously clickbait will have like Tyler Shock going like 30th overall for like no reason. Like some team trades. It's like why? Anyway, but yeah, McCord. I don't know.
like,
You kind of covered everything with him. He came to the ACC, set the record for passing yards in the season, and I think that'd be good enough for me to take him over these other late round guys.
like Tyler Shaw. Where do you what
What
over
do you see?
what overall rank do you think he is on ESPN's big board? I'm looking at it right now, and I'm appalled.
It's
What do you
probably like
think it
way too
is?
high. I'm gonna. Well, now you say that, it's probably like I don't like 90.
He on ESPN. I don't know whose board this is. It doesn't say Mel Kiper or anything. He is the 38th overall player
Oh my
in the
god.
draft. Guys, there is not a shot I am taking him as a top 38 player in this draft. I'm good. I'm good on all that. I'm fine. I would rather take a shot on Jackson Dart than I would. Who Jackson Dart, by the way, he's the 28th ranked player on the big
Where do
board.
they have Milrow?
They have Milrow as the 80th.
Dude, if you're
You mean to tell
seriously
me? You mean to
you
tell
mean to
me?
tell me 42 spots? He's going to be a 26-year-old rookie. Dude,
I would
play
take
for Louisville.
I would take Jalen Milrow with a 1% chance that he works out over Tyler Shaw right now.
Less.
Like,
Take
I'm
with a
just
half
not doing
percent
it, guys.
chance.
I'm good.
That's wild. Yeah, anyway. That's exactly what I mean. That's exactly the point I was trying to make, that side note. I just hate when they do that. And it's just so obviously clickbait, whatever. They just try to get people to talk about it. And it's annoying. It pisses me off.
Yeah. So, my number 5 quarterback in the NFL draft, I guess, is Jackson Dart. Honestly, guys, I'll clue you into my thought process here. My number 5 quarterback, I'm really between Jackson Dart and Quinn Ewers. And you may be thinking yourself, you're definitely thinking to yourself right now, wow, that's disgusting. Yes, both of these guys are disgusting as quarterback prospects. I can't lie to you right now. Guys, I don't know what Jackson Dart did this past season that all of a sudden he may go night one. I'd be shocked if he goes night one, though, because I don't know that any team really views him quite as high as maybe some people in the media do. I was talking to Jack before we started recording. I don't think that anybody really watched Jackson Dart last year at all. Sure, he has some nice moments. He has some nice out of structure throws. I see the allure. I do. I see it. But then you take a look at his last 2 minutes in the swamp at Florida, where he threw 3 interceptions on 3 straight dropbacks. There are just some things that, I don't know, guys. He's just not very good at the end of the day. I haven't seen anything so far in his collegiate career that makes me think he's worth a first round pick. Maybe he'll go day 2, and, that's probably fair. I guess I see the allure. I think he has just as good of a shot as working out as someone like Jalen Milrow does. I really think he's that much of a project, that much of a long shot, a dart throw. I He's my quarterback 5, and I don't really feel super confident about it. Like I was really considering Quinn Ewers over him, which I'm not a big Quinn Ewers guy
Not
either.
good. No,
Yeah, not
no.
good. If Jackson
Yeah,
Dart ends up being the best quarterback from this class, this is going to be a really fun segment to look back on.
it
It's going to be
definitely
really
will
fun.
be. Yeah, it will be. I don't see that happening. This is not. Yeah, no. I don't see it. He's kind of just like Milrow, but almost worse at almost everything with
Yeah,
less of a ceiling. I don't know.
Tyler Shaw, 38th overall on ESPN's big board. That's
That
interesting.
is ridiculous.
All right,
Ridiculous.
so there are top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL draft. Of course, I'll have Jack go through his top 5, but mine: number 1, Cam Ward; number 2, Shedeur Sanders; number 3, Jalen Milrow from Alabama; number 4, Kyle McCord from Syracuse; and number 5, I guess against my own will, was Jackson Dart.
Yep, and then mine, Cam Ward 1, Jalen Milrow 2, Shadur 3, Jackson Dart, I guess 4, and Kyle McCord, I guess 5. I just really don't see much in the last 2. But
Guys, quarterback class just isn't good, and that's
no, it's
fine.
not. It's not.
It's just not good. All right, last thing we'll do here, we're going to do probably a couple different mock drafts because Pro Football Network, their rankings are really bad, but like PFF, their rankings are probably the best out of anybody that I've seen so far. But, I don't have the PFF subscription, so only 3 rounds. So we'll see how this goes, but I like their rankings a lot better. We'll have to see what happens. I'm gonna go up a little bit actually because I want to see what happens here if the thing would let me. So Cam Ward number 1, Travis Hunter number 2, Abdul Carter 3. That seems about reasonable. Ashton Genty 4 would probably bring the house down.
I could
That
see it, like, to
that
be
would be
completely
something.
honest. I wouldn't do
That
it if I was New England, but I don't know if I'd be completely shocked.
that really wouldn't be crazy. Jade Barron 6. Wow.
That's, oof. I like him, but
Tyler
I don't know.
I like Tyler Warren at 10 to the Bears. What Tet McMillan to the Niners.
Oof.
Guys. Matthew Golden Falcons can see it. Shedeur Sanders. Oh, dude, that'd be so heartbreaking if Shedeur makes it all the way to 18 and the Seahawks pick him.
If he's there at 18, I'd be on the phone probably.
I would probably.
Yeah.
Emeka Egbuka goes 20th overall, and all of a sudden the Steelers are on the clock here. Walter Nolan, top of the board. We talked about it at the top of the show, Jack.
Here's
Probably
yeah.
defensive lineman for the Steelers.
That's one. It makes the most sense, and two, if you're the Steelers and you think Walter Nolan is somewhere like the 8th best player in this class, like PFF says he is, I think you're running to the podium to take him.
All right, so we'll take him, but I kind of want to take Omarion Hampton for fun. But Walter Nolan,
I really hope that doesn't happen.
that'd be really funny
It would
because
be.
it would be pretty funny. Oh, we don't even have a second round pick. So this
Yeah, I forgot
PFF
about
mock
that.
is going to
It's gonna
suck.
be 2 guys. It's gonna be 2 guys.
It's going to suck. Who do the Seahawks take with our pick? Okay, we'll let it run, and then we'll go back and see who the Seahawks took with 52. All right. So, 52. Jared Ivey, the edge from Ole Miss. Yeah, I'll take DK Metcalf over that all day.
Yeah.
Cam Scadaboo, 58 to the Texans. Man, he could have been ours. I am a Cam Scadabo
That's
advocate.
high.
Let
That's
it be
high.
known. I don't know. Is it?
I'm not a fan.
What running backs are even available? What running back?
DJ Giddens there. That's my guy. I like DJ Giddens.
Damon Martinez.
Jimmy
RJ
Martinez
Harvey.
is good too. And I like Jaden Blue a lot. If he's there, I guess in the 4th, I would be happy with Jaden Blue too. Because listen, we're not going to have a good running back room. Just is what it is.
Yeah.
I think Warren, Gainwell, and a 4th or 3rd would be capable enough. I don't think it would be like glaringly bad. So I think that's probably what we do.
Oh, wow. I like Andrew Makuba a lot. I love Kyle Williams, the wide receiver from
Really?
Washington State. If any of you want to have a fun time, go to YouTube, type in Kyle Williams, Washington State, and just watch. That's a fun watch right there. RJ Harvey still on the board right there too. If we want a running back, Jalen Noel still there. Damian Martinez. I don't know. safety or running back, probably, is what I think the Steelers would do.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that makes the most sense.
I would also be on the record of I'd be absolutely livid if the Steelers' first 2 picks in the NFL draft were defense. What are we trying to do? Have we learned absolutely nothing? The answer to that is yes. We've learned
Yes,
absolutely
it is.
nothing. So to keep my sanity, what running back do we like? Because I think they would take Makuba, and we probably should take Makuba, but
My favorite out of the, I guess, realistic ones here is Giddens. I'm a
okay.
fan.
I like Giddens too. I like Martinez a good bit too. The DJ Giddens, round 3. I don't think that's bad at all. Wyatt Milam, WVU legend, goes to the Texans. Grading our draft. Let's see what grade we got. Let's see. I'm on the edge of my seat,
On
PFF.
the edge of my seat, these 2 picks.
Still waiting. My 2 picks. A
Pretty good mock
plus.
draft here.
Hey,
Nice. Top 52%.
look at us, guys. We're good. And then that's the entire first round. Omari and Hampton to the Commanders. Oh boy.
That would be bad for my Brian Robinson shares.
Would not be good.
Not ideal.
Ashton Genty, number 4. Jesus Christ. All right. Well, I'm stop sharing that one, and then we'll go over to the worst website of all time. I don't even know if I have it pulled up. Oh no, I have PFN. Here we go. This will be fun. We have to pick Johnny Walker again at the end.
Yeah.
Sipping
Tristan
Johnny
Tate.
Walker. All right, if it would let me switch. All right. Let's see what happens here. Who's going to fall to us? I can't wait. I see Shador go at 18 again. God damn it.
Again, damn.
We can't have shit. Michael Williams at 21 is kind of crazy. TJ
Yeah.
Watt trade scenario.
Oh, man.
I don't know. Bro, are you kidding me? Colson Loveland 19. I mean, Michael Williams is there.
Yeah, Nolan's there too. But
Todd Campbell's
they have him
there.
way lower than PFF.
Egbuka's there. Like, did Omari and Hampton go? I'm taking Omari and Hampton.
Do the nightmare scenario draft.
My
nightmare scenario draft.
We're doing the nightmare scenario draft, guys. We've done enough of what the Steelers are going to do. We're going to do nightmare scenario.
Jalen Milroe, fall. Fuck.
Oh! Jalen Milroe, Steelers trade up. Oh my God, Alec is on the board.
What?
Yeah.
They hate him. What the hell?
We are back. The Steelers are back.
Dude, DK Pickens and Alec Iamana, we got like 3 of the same receivers. Just like...
Dylan Sampson goes right before I pick. That sucks.
Jalen Reed.
Jalen Reed is such a dog. He's so
Daniel
good.
Martinez is there.
We already took Hampton is the thing.
Yeah, that's right.
We're taking Jalen Reed.
Yeah, that's cool.
Jalen Reed's such a baller. I do feel like the Steelers are going to take a safety earlier than we think too. Oh boy, who's even on the board? Dylan Gabriel. Oh God, Kyle McCord.
Kyle McCord.
Yep. This is a great draft. This is great. Oh, Dylan Gabriel still on the top of the board. Jaden Blue. Still on the board.
4 running backs.
Do we want to take another running back?
No, probably not.
Jabbar Muhammad. Remember him? He was like a projected first
Isaiah
round
Bond.
pick. Is he still on the board?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Did they
I feel like
update
it's
it
a
after the
steal.
allegations?
I don't know.
Seems like a Steeler to me. It's like
Look at that draft. Alec and Isaiah Bond. This is the TJ Watt and George Pickens trade scenario.
Johnny Walker available.
Yeah, where is Johnny Walker?
There he
Like
is.
Johnny Walker.
TJ Watt replacement. Kobe King. Holy.
Wow, what a draft, guys. What a way to end it. I truly couldn't think of anything better. Omari and Hampton, 21. Third round, we snag Alec. 123, we get Jalen Reed. 156, Kyle McCord, welcome home, future QB1. Isaiah Bond, 185, Johnny Walker, 229. That is an A plus to me.
That's an A plus to me.
That looks great. That's the dream scenario. But with that, I think that will end today's podcast. Jack, thank you for joining me. Next week, we'll do a big draft episode. Little over a week until the draft. So, guys, stay excited. Interested to see what the Steelers do. Hopefully, Aaron Rodgers makes up his mind soon. He won't. Oh, yeah. Side note before we get going. Big night at thoughts. Thoughts.
I wasn't expecting much. I'm not like the biggest McAfee fan ever, but I did think it was cool. I guess like bringing out Big Ben, Paul Skeens, Sid, Gino, and Letang. That was probably the best part. I think Wiz and Snoop were fun too. It was like stupid, but it was pretty entertaining. So like I didn't have many complaints.
It was really cool. Like I didn't know what to expect, but like McAfee was like, "Oh, I've been wanting to do something like this forever," and it's like it's just like random Pittsburgh celebrities going on stage and like everybody cheering. Like it didn't really have any plot. Of course, everybody wanted Aaron Rodgers to come out, but
you just hear like you hear like the beginning of Renegade and like the doors open and like Jelly Roll comes out. It's like what the fuck? It's like what is happening right now? No, but yeah, it was pretty fun. It was pretty. Cool.
It was pretty cool, But interested to see what our Pittsburgh Steelers do here soon. If anything happens, of course, we'll be right here breaking it all down right here for you on the Standard.